So I thought I'd do a little room tour.
We out of here.
Utterly disgusted. They told me to start a multivitamin. It didn't smell too bad. I've tasted it already. It tastes like fucking paracetamol dissolved with a bit of fucking juice.
I'd also seen biofeedback at this point as well, who she also agreed an ileostomy would be what she would want if he was in my position. She did give me a rectal irrigation. Now, I was told beforehand I wasn't a candidate. Now, the rectal irrigation had only come out, I think it was so many weeks beforehand, so it was very new to the NHS. I haven't actually officially tried it yet, but I will do an update on that soon. She also gave me butt plugs, and no, I'm not joking. Apparently they're used for people who are bowel incontinent, so I'll definitely do a video on them as well, because maybe they will help someone. I downed the cup of laxatives and I said, look, I'm not doing it on YouTube, it's not happening. Nothing happened. I had no bowel movement. The next day I felt a pressure and then I ran to the bathroom and this happened. Now this clip is very graphic. I've included it in here for the simple fact I want people to realise what chronic illness warriors actually go through. It's not as simple as we sit on the toilet and go for a crap. This happens. This is real life. This is something I generally went through. People will be like, well, you went for a toilet, so the meds worked. No, the meds did not work. I had overflow. Overflow is where the stool in your bowel sits, in your colon, and the liquid comes past your stool. I still had a full bowel at this point. I was so unwell after this, and I just laid on the floor and cried. I passed out. I knew I had to clean all this stuff up. I knew I had to show this and it would be degrading. And I am very real. I mean, I will sit here all evening after this is posted and think, did I make the right decision putting this in? And I'm sure I'll get backlash from some idiot, but this really did happen, and it was so traumatic. And bear in mind, I was wearing a diaper, I was wearing pyjama bottoms, which had to be thrown in the bin. It was that bad. It was honestly horrendous. I can't actually defecate on the toilet. I'm at that point now where it tries to push out my suprapubic catheter, and with my EDS and fibromyalgia, it is so excruciatingly painful that I can't defecate on a toilet. And again, that's just real. That is my situation. So when I had got on the toilet, because I realised how bad this mess was going to be, I passed out. Someone's going to be like, well, how did you have your phone if it was that bad? I actually had to leave the bathroom, get my phone, come back and document it, because I was informed by all the nurses, document it all. You need documentation of this. It's really important because it's not a common, well, it is a common situation, but the medical negligence needed to be documented, and I have the documentation of all of it, hence why I can show you. After this, again, I was left with no IV fluids, and when the night nurses came on, I showed her and I said, like, how is this acceptable? I am a human being. At the end of the day, I am not patient 1122. I am Vickie Lee, a human being who is 23 years old and has gone through more shit than most people do in a lifetime, and that is just reality. And she tried not to cry when she witnessed it all, and she said, can I please put some IV fluids up for you? And she did, thankfully. And I had more anti-sickness, and that night I was throwing up all over again, despite having IV anti-sickness and an injection of anti-sickness as well. I was not in a good place whatsoever.
Not gonna lie, I'm in so much pain. I don't think I'm gonna be sleeping much tonight, but I'm in so much pain.
After this, I showed the consultant the next day. He got an x-ray, he believed it was overflow as well, and then he told me that he would prepare a meeting with the surgeon where they could all come in, and he was going to advocate for me, which he kept to his word, and he did advocate for me, which didn't happen a lot. Like, there was a lot of situations where I really had to advocate for myself, and I was not listened to. My needs went unheard. So when the surgeons came in the next day, there was several of them. It was quite an intimidating situation to be in, like, especially when I felt like it was just me against them, and it did feel like that the whole way through, that it was me against them. So the head surgeon come to the conclusion that a loop ileostomy would be best for me. Now, I am not there anymore. I still don't have a loop ileostomy. I'm not really any further forward, if I'm honest, but I would do a separate video about what happened afterwards, otherwise it's going to be so long. So I got the x-ray results after that explosion and accident happened. My bowel was still very much full, which is mortifying to hear, because you're kind of like, how is it that bad? And it is. My bowel is that bad that all these meds just went straight past the stool. I was told I could go home after I had the tube change. I have suprapubic catheter tube changes every 4 weeks, which they knew well. I waited for the tube change. I was overdue for the tube change, despite me putting in my pre-op, telling my terrible consultant in November, and also telling them the entire time I was there that this is the date my tube change is due. I bring my own catheters. Yeah, well, there was a whole situation which I'll go into detail maybe in a story time, so this isn't too long. But I did not have my tube change done there. I had to travel all the way back from London to Canterbury for the tube change, from Canterbury back to Leicester, because I now live in Leicester. Yeah, it was insane. I left the hospital with 3 plans. One was to take certain medication to manage at home, which I wasn't managed in hospital, so how they expected me to manage at home, I don't know. The second plan was to have a type of testing done, which I actually am having next week, so I take you guys along. And the third plan was to have the loop ileostomy. So as we stand, plan 1 failed, plan 2 happens next week, and plan 3 is hopefully gonna happen, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. Thank you so much for watching my hospital nightmare. I hope that someone learns something from this, or someone doesn't feel alone. It is definitely a very vulnerable situation to put this sort of stuff on the internet, but I believe in awareness, and I believe that with awareness comes education, and then hopefully one day cures for these horrible conditions. If you enjoy watching me, please like and subscribe, and if you want more up-to-date information on me and my life, definitely follow my Instagram, which is just tricky, and I shall see you soon.